if you could just do whatever you wanted, what would that be? If you could just think about how to teach your course in the best way for your material and your students and your learning outcomes that you want to address, how could you do that instead of defaulting to just we'll give lectures and classes because we give lectures and classes. I use lecture flipping, which means that instead of having a face-to-face 2-hour lecture every week, I turned each 2-hour lecture into 2 15 to 20-minute online clips, which I recorded at home in my office, and then students would watch those in their own time, either on their computer or on their phone or wherever, before with the class. Partly it was out of my own self-interest. I wanted to figure out how I could get more time just talking with the students in class, and I mean, it just sounded perfect when I first heard about it. I thought this is what I've been sort of looking for ages. It went even better than I thought. The students loved it, and it's the best teaching I've ever had. So it was, yeah, I can't wait to do it again actually, which is not something I might have said before. I could see a lot of them sort of, coming alive, for want of a better word. I mean, I think you could actually see their brains sort of switching on, and I think maybe even for the first time, I think they really enjoyed engaging with me about different issues that we were talking about, and in some ways were kind of like an ideal student. They came ready to engage, to talk, to ask me questions. Actually, that's another thing. The ideal student would challenge what you have to say, I think, rather than just take you as the authority on something. Because I think a lot of times we just make stuff up, and students just accept it, so it's quite nice when they don't. I think there's a real culture of fear of failing, that if you try something new and get it wrong, then that would be the end of the world. And I think that really stops a lot of people from just doing new things. I think it probably stopped me for a few years, actually. I think I would have done the lecture flipping a lot earlier. I mean, there are other reasons to do with time constraints, but I think part of it was because somewhere I was probably a bit worried about maybe it not going so well, and subconsciously I just sort of didn't do it until I felt sort of confident enough to do it. So I think having a culture of embracing, experimenting and doing new things, and I mean, that would be great. It would make it so much easier if that was sort of more normal.